What's good, YouTube and Twitch? We're live streaming. It has been a heck of a night, and we have new Dracoslayers pendulums. This is not a drill. They mix in with other pendulums. Sutff is probably freaking out, and let's go ahead and read them because they work really good as an archetype and with other past existing archetypes that work into their lore from before. This isn't the React Andy. We've been through them. We've digested this a bit, and we have more of a conversation with this. Ignis Phoenix, the Dracoslayers, is a level 4 fire warrior pendulum, so rotaable as well for your engine. Attack 1700, defense 1900, pendulum scale 7, and his pendulum effect is you can only use this effect once per turn. During your main phase, you can shuffle one face-up pendulum monster from your extra deck into the deck, then add one Dracoslayers or Ignite monster from your deck to your hand, except a pendulum monster. So your scale is still there, your already used advantage becomes further advantage, and you search any of them. Then this monster effect is also pretty good. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, so your own card effects, thank gosh, you can special summon one Dracoslayers or Ignite monster from your deck, except Ignis Phoenix, the Dracoslayers, and if you do, it's treated as a tuner. So I'm seeing some pretty big, any two card combos for warriors, going into Isolde, going into Halcons can be treated as a tuner. Kind of a really crazy enabler card effect that is on another level, in my opinion. You not only get search ability and wait for it, there's other crazy things to go in here, but this just seems like one of the crazy combo starters out there. Then we have Majesty Maiden becoming a freaking humanoid Pegasus, some weird flesh color stuff going on here into her transformation. Zoom in, you'll see what I'm talking about. Level 4 Wind Spellcaster Pendulum Effect Monster, 1500, and she mixes with the Magispectors. You can only use this pendulum effect once per turn hard OPT. If you have a Dracoslayers or Magispector card in your other pendulum zone, you can add one Dracoslayers pendulum monster with a different original name from your deck to your hand. Then you can destroy one card in your pendulum zone, so it frees up the pendulum zone in order for you to play the other card if you would like to use it as a pendulum. Monster effect, this card is always treated as a Magispector card. You can only use the second monster effect once per turn. Quick effect, first effect, you can discard this card until the end of this turn. Your opponent cannot target Dracoslayers monsters you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects, so it turns them all into Magispectors. But since it is a quick effect, if you're already targeted by Veiler or Imperm or something, like, you're not able to use this in order to stop that, and they also could react to this card. So that armor more so is like destruction protection or like targeting throughout the rest of the turn. You're not able to like negate something that's already locked on and targeted. If this card is pendulum summoned or special summoned by a Dracoslayers card effect, you can add one field spell from your deck to your hand, then discard a card. She feels very fair in her advantage give and takes, like you destroy the scale in order to get the card, or you pitch a card to get the card. So really more balancing on this card than the first and the third one, which is the T-Rex version of Dynamite Knight. Dynamite Power Load the Dracoslayers. Level 4 Water Machine Pendulum Effect, 1700, 1800, Pendulum Scale 6. You can only use the Pendulum Effect of this card's name once per turn. You can target one Dracoslayers or Dino Mist card in your pendulum zone and special summon it. So you're able to just push it out there, and we said there was one to give special summoning. So you can get these out without having committed to your normal summon and really pop off and combo off. This card is always treated as a Dino Mist card. Dino Mist support finally after all these years. You can only use the monster effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is tributed, you can add one face-up Dracoslayers or Dino Mist pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand, except for Dynamite Power Load the Dracoslayers, so himself. Basically, it's a piece of an advantage you have already had go into the extra deck, getting to recurrent to pendulum summon it from hand. These are all 4, so relatively easy to pendulum summon. You have the low scale in the Majesty Pegasus, 2 high scales between Ignis Phoenix as well as Dynamite Power Load, and then a field spell where it's all of them powering up, doing the crazy thing, I guess becoming these new forms. Dragonic Pendulum is a field spell that reads you can only use the second and third effect of this card's name once per turn. All Dracoslayers monsters gain 300 attack and defense. If a Dragon Dracoslayers, so the old ones, monsters you control activates its effect, you can target a card on the field and destroy it. if this card on the field is destroyed, you can take any Dracoslayer or Drake or Overload monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it. So, first piece of conversation is Masterpiece getting unbanned in the TCG, starting to seem likely, especially with how Konami likes to sell sets. Second off, let's dive a little into lore. These guys have worked together in order to defeat the Amorphages, aka Lecter. Kale, aka Loreman, helped out a lot of this along with Aquino. But essentially, you have them already mixing in with the other lores, like you have this going into the Dino Mist here, where you can even see the Mist Power mech armor that appears in other cards, such as the Dino Mist field spell right here where he's combining. Then you have Ignister Prominence where he's with the Ignites, and you have this, he's literally riding Kieran into the battle. I always found it funny that it had less attack than Kieran by himself. But the Magister Paladin, the Ascending Dracoslayer. So there have been team-ups for a long time against the Amorphages in lore, and here you have it coming kind of like Phantom Rage where you combine Raid Raptor and Phantom Knights together. These cards are always treated as both and play upon that thing they've been doing where they combine archetypes, UA and FA or that sort of stuff. Here we have the archetypes really combining into full-fledged fashion, all in people's least favorite kind of cards, Pendulum! I think Pendulums are great. I think this is really awesome. I think Pendulums are super balanced under Master Rule 4.5. And with these, you have, I'll call him a giraffe, but he's technically a dragon, the version where you see the neck stretch out. These transformed, final form, level 4 interpretations of the true Dracos, and it's really awesome. Kale, do you have anything to add to lore.explanation?
I do. I very much do. This is, you can make Masterpiece easier now. Not the one that's banned, the one that's super hard to summon. But also, real quick, Ignis Phoenix, he procs off of Ignister. Majesty Maiden, she can be special summoned by the Fusion, Synchro, and Xyz, which she will proc her effects off of to get you a free field spell. And Dynamite Knight, well, he can be attributed by Masterpiece because he's a Dracoslayer. Yay, thank you.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, like, insane mix and match playability for all of the archetypes, of course, but it itself as an archetype, I feel like they limited the amount of cards, not just because of the amount of monsters, but like if you make this engine any crazier, it just becomes another one of those splashable engines that it gets made to use, is sold into Hulk, which just got banned in the OCG, into all these other crazy things, because the first card gives all of those abilities like crazily, but Hulk just got banned in the OCG, so they don't have to worry about that. The ability to grant tuner to a monster and also be a warrior. So much enabling. And then they have Electromite over there too. So this feels like just engine card on the Ignis. But I do think that this interpretation of the cards, not only lore-wise, but the mix and match, I would love to see a ton more of that in Yu-Gi-Oh! And development of old lores that have pretty much ended too, right? Like, you have another, like, storyline open into their, togetherness there, and I really like that. It kind of reminds me of Necros, where, like, the new armors gave new life to old cards from the Ice Barriers and other Hidden Arsenal stuff. Like, I almost feel like it's that, except they're alive and thriving within the lore and continuing on in the lore, and that's really cool too. Any final notes? Nope, just me. All right. Oh, were you saying something?
No, I said no.
All right, well, super fair, Awkward into it. Awkward is only a state of mind that you allow yourself to be in, guys. That being said, thanks for watching today's video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. I think it's really just one of the coolest things Konami's done with cards that aren't everybody's favorites, the True Dracos, turning them into what could be very much so favorites. And a lot of people do like True Draco, it's just that they were the overlords of the game for such a long time. But here, they look freaking awesome and they play awesome too.